All right, parents, how y'all doing? JL Casey. This is Family Court Unfiltered. This is the podcast. I know it has been a minute. We were shooting for every Wednesday. We're probably going to have to reschedule that and do like every other Wednesday. I have been in the trenches. No, you haven't seen me. I got multiple screens up now because normally it's for notes. Some of them are notes. Normally it's for making sure we get the case law down correct, but I'm actually in the midst of working with clients, so I don't want to miss anything while I'm multitasking. I hope y'all don't mind. Again, y'all haven't seen me in a minute. This is Family Court Unfiltered. I have been in the trenches. I've been talking to parents daily. I talk to, upwards of 25, 50 parents a day, just trying to put out productive information, helping parents learn how to move in court. So that's what I've been doing what I actually do. But my video editor says we're running low on content. We did the first podcast. We was able to make some shorts out of that, make some productive videos while I continue to really do the back end work. I am not a content guy, you guys. I'm not a recording type of guy. This isn't really something that I do. But again, my video editor said we needed some more footage, so I'm going to try to record episode 3. I'm not even sure what the title is. I'm kind of just going to make this one from my personal perspective. Probably won't get into case breakdowns today. This is really just my perspective as a father who's been through the family system, and I came out on the other side. I'm not here to complain about family court. That's not what I do. It has its pros and cons. And again, I've been on both ends, so I'm not here to discourage anyone pertaining to child support. I know it's called Child Support Victory, and that's on the strength of, I believe that I support my children. I support my child, not child support. So that's a story in itself. Again, I'm not biased on either side. I just want to help parents learn the rules. I feel like if we knew the rules and how to actually move in family court, it'd be better for both sides. Both sides will have a lot more ground, more leeway to maybe have a productive relationship with the other partner. Because I've got to the point now with the way I move in the court system, it's like I'm not even going at odds with the mothers of my children. It's really more like the state attorneys and things of that nature. Again, that's another topic for another day. So first and foremost, this isn't legal advice, all right, you guys? This is just what I've learned actually living inside of the family court situation. So I'm just going to give y'all my opinions and my perspective of that. I'm a father of 4, depending on how you count it. Depending on how you count it. So again, I had 3 ongoing cases, and I ended up fighting all my cases pro se 3 times. I won all 3 times, and that's where I'm at now. Now, in the beginning, was I winning? No, just getting my ass handed to me. But here we are. Fast forward some umpteen years later for what it feels like to me. And now I am helping parents learn how to move in court, learn the rights, learn what statutes really matter, learn the case law, and here we are. So this isn't legal advice. It's the Family Court Unfiltered. I'm JL Casey. Let's get into some perspectives from my personal opinions, not legal advice, all right? All right, parents. It was a little rough. I had a client call just then. I had to hop on real quick. So I guess the starting point for me, I was a young father. I think I had my first child when I was like 18, going on 19. And back then I kind of was getting in and out of trouble. I wasn't around as much as a young father. I actually went away for about 3 years, close to 3 years. So when I came home, my daughter was 2 going on 3. And rebuilding can be tough. I can only imagine, well, not imagine, I understand a lot of these stories of alienation through my clients. So I get that rebuilding stage. I've been through it. Now, granted, I was away from my daughter through mistakes of my own nature. And, but still that rebuilding, coming home, she's going on 3 years old. When I used to pick her up, man, she used to be screaming and kicking and crying not to come. Like she was cool when I came around and I'd be around and play with her. But talk about going to the dad's house and going to be with her without her mom or somebody around, oh, that used to be a struggle. But I would say 6 months, maybe a year, 6 months to a year into that, it was complete reverse. She cried anytime she had to go home. Like it was a complete reversal. So I understand that rebuilding process I feel like it's the work you put in as far as that. You know what I mean? I feel like it's what are you willing to do to rebuild. You know what I mean? And again, I have clients that go through a lot more alienation than just being missing for 2 to 3 years, and a lot older at some standpoints of their children's life. So I feel like that's a tougher battle, but you got to be willing to be in the battle. You know what I mean? So me, I have three biological kids, and my younger one with my partner, I claim her. So really four, that's mine, that's me. But I've been there since birth, since with all my kids. And I feel like I can understand that stigma of when you get in the mind frame of like the Cam Newtons or the Nick Cannon. I'm not putting myself in that category at all, please. I'm not trying to do that at all. But in the nature of understanding how it is raising kids from multiple different women and the extra work that you sometimes have to put in. So I got clients reaching out. Sometimes that I understand that extra leg work that you need to put in. And I was always, my mindset was, man, my children would always know each other. We go take trips together. We go take these summers together. We go do whatever. I picked that up, I wouldn't say early on, because it took some time. Being a young father, I feel like it took some time learning how to be a dad, learning how to be present. But once I got to that part where I was like, I may not see eye to eye with the mothers of my children, but that shouldn't affect the relationship with the kids. Even though I may be on child support, even though I may be getting, like, I don't understand the math of it. I am getting what I feel like killed from child support. But at the same time, that's not going to affect when my daughter wants to go do this, or my son wants to sign up for this. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's that leg what you put in. Now that mindset of, I haven't dug deep into that story again of the more famous people having multiple kids. I don't know what their relationship is like with their kids. I can't speak for them, but I know the battles of dealing with multiple personalities and have to put in that extra leg work. And it's not easy. And I try to even instill that into my son, like, don't spread yourself thin in general. That comes with friends, that comes with anything, but especially when you get of age where you're talking about being involved with people. Be mindful, be very specific of what you're doing and how you're moving, son. Like, I would have loved to have all of my kids in the same house growing up, waking up every day. You know how often they'd be like, well, how's Genovia doing? That's their older sister just out of state. Like, what she's been up to, and we'll FaceTime her, chop it up with her. And but yeah, that's a struggle. It's a struggle. So I wish that I would have been mindful and responsible enough to have all of y'all in one household or together with one woman. But would I backtrack and change anything? No. No, I love my kids. I wouldn't trade them for anything in the world. I remember it used to be a thing. It was asked how many kids I would want, as many as I can afford. That's me though. I love my kids. And again, I wish circumstances could have been different, but I wouldn't change it for the world. Not because the outcome is the outcome. And I'm so blessed to have all 4, 5, 6 of my kids. You know what I mean? So that's my perspective and my opinion. And I could go deeper into that. I don't want to make the whole episode about that, but I definitely can relate to that. And again, from a younger perspective, I'm older now, my kids. My youngest is, well, I have a 4-year-old. I got two 12-year-olds. They're not twins. Another story for another day. And I have an 18-year-old. So it's like, with that being said, I understand that perspective, raising your kids with different partners, being younger and having different relationships and thinking that is completely normal. And I'm not here to, again, I'm not making an episode about that, but I feel like I can relate to that. And in the midst of it happening, it's like, even though it was stressful for me, because I knew how much I loved my daughter already, then to go from one child to now I got 3, and like a blink of an eye, it was something I had to adjust to, but it was still normal in the midst of it happening. And I don't know if that's a cultural thing or what it is. I mean, they say be fruitful and multiply. So my mindset was, I'm gonna have as many as I can take care of and be in their lives and have a powerful upbringing, because at the end of the day, you can say, yeah, they're out of pocket for having so many kids from so many different women, but how many kids how many moms have a child from just one from this one dad, and that's all he has, and he's still not present. He's still not around. The child still doesn't reap any benefits from having a father or having him as a father. I would hope and pray that these kids are going to reap many benefits for having children, having their father be Cam Newton or Nick Cannon. And that's my mindset with my kids. I feel like, yes, they reap benefit from my relationship with them, what I instill in them, That's got to be your mindset to. And on another topic, that kind of brings me to the Anthony Edwards situation and why me personally, I can't condone in it because, or not condone it, I can't really vibe with that mindset of, oh, I'm just going to pay the mom off and not have to deal with the child anymore anyways, because at the end of the day, your child inherits certain things from you. So people, and when I talk about child support, it's just because numbers a lot of times are overinflated. Like child support it has its fraudulent and unconstitutional ways in it. And I don't mean to snippet that as far as, because there's a lot of child support as far as child support unconstitutional. That's not completely true. The methods they take to just put you on child support and overrun your numbers. They overcalculate them, have you paying more than what you actually should. So when you get into it, like I said, if everybody knew the rules and knew how to maneuver in it, it'd be better for everybody. But as far as the topic of Ant-Man, I rock with Ant-Man. I love him to death as far as being a basketball player. But as a young man and the people we keep around us or the things that we are taught, when you know better, you should do better. You know what I mean? So it's like, bro, as I make more, as I become more, my child deserves to inherit that. Outside of wanting to not deal with the mom or whatever, you brought something into this world and he deserves to inherit more as you get more. Because in my mindset, if I ever hit the lotto, you mean to tell me you wouldn't feel like all your kids are straight forever? All my kids gonna be good forever. I feel like regardless, because that's the goal at hand. If I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, the goal is to make sure that they're well off, that, you know, you're supposed to put up more for your children's children. You know what I mean? So my mindset is, how can I feel like I can pay off the right of my child to inherit what he's deserved to have me as a father? You know what I mean? So that's my spill on that. Again, I don't want to make the whole episode about that. So back to my battles through court, and then like the current reality, the fact that, you know, now that I have 50-50 custody, my child support is terminated. My ongoing child support is terminated out. Still battling arrears, but you know what I mean? I'm a lot better off than most parents that don't quite, the average dad, you know what I mean? I'll say that, the average dad. Like I say, my ongoing child support is terminated, have equal custody of my kids, equal say-so, get to dictate where they're at for holidays, for schools, all of that. So from where I was when I first started, that's night and day for me. I'm blessed to that point, and it's a lot more that I feel like I can go after, but I'm like, man, I got to teach other parents this. Because it ain't just dads in this situation. You got moms on child support, moms getting children taken from them wrongfully. It goes both ways. Family court is a battle in itself. And then you got to understand it's not the same as criminal court. People always talk about implying their rights. But you need to understand what rights really are going to get you the best result inside of family court versus criminal court, because you have the right to remain silent. But if you remain silent in family court, the judge has a right to use that as an adverse action against you, as far as if he's not speaking to this point, he must be hiding something. They can do that. You know what I mean? So then you got CPS workers, they're getting treated as if they're the police officer. Oh, you don't have the right to enter my property. You don't have the right to, yeah, this may be so. But they can still write that up as an adverse action that will be used as evidence in court. Oh, he was uncooperative. You got to know how to maneuver in courts. There's different rules for different venues. And a lot of people get them misconstrued, and I be out here on these social media sites trying to push out information, going into debate with so many different parents that are putting out bad information at the end of the day. It's misinformation. It's incorrect. You're utilizing it the wrong way. Yes, you have rights, but do you know how to utilize them or imply them at the right time in the right venue? People using case law that isn't controlling in their state. You have binding, and then you have persuasive case law. You'll take something that worked in California and try to bring it over here to Florida. Or you'll take something in Texas and try to use it in New York. It doesn't work like that. You need to understand your state laws, okay? This isn't legal advice. This is just from my understanding what I learned to get my wins in court. I'm telling you how I win. I can tell you how I lost too. I've been there. I tried to challenge jurisdiction, special opinions. I learned real quickly that a lot of times we've already waived jurisdiction years and years ago. Now, in the beginning, and I've helped clients win on jurisdictional challenges. Yes, they're valid when you utilize them the right way and they fit to your specific fact patterns in your situation. The merits in your case are always going to matter. If anybody's telling you a one-shoe-fits-all template, a lot of times that's inaccurate. And don't get me wrong, I say a lot of times because I have packages that I can sell to teach you about things like contempt, teach you how to properly get a divorce, what packages you may need, what you may need to put in there. A lot of things that people get charged $2,000, $4,000, $5,000 to go sit down with a lawyer for the information. So much lead where they're getting charged $300 an hour for the information. Not even before they even they're getting charged the retainers before any work is done. Then the clients that I've worked with that come to me, we're doing everything on the front end. We're learning it together. I'm teaching you together. I'm not an attorney. I'm not trying to say that I am. I'm trying to teach you how I won and what I've learned through the process of winning as well as losing. I'm trying to bridge the gap. I'm not here to replace your attorney. But I can show you what should be moving forward in your case and what your attorney should be doing. At the end of the day, your attorney works for you. Know what you should know the rules, know the laws. If you want a mouthpiece, if you don't feel like you're brave enough to go ahead and recite the scripts that we built together on your fact pattern, know how to get your proper information in front of the judge. If you don't know how to do that, if you're too nervous to learn how to do that and you want to hire an attorney, that's cool, but still learn the rules and procedures of the situation. Know what should be taking place. All right. Don't blindly depend on anybody when it comes to your kids. That was my mindset because I've paid attorneys. I paid thousands of dollars and man, let me tell you something. I could have kept that money in my pocket. And I'm not discouraging attorneys. You can find a good, competent one versus one that gets disbarred or have complaints pushed on them. Thousands of attorneys. Attorneys ain't some magic bullets. They mess up and get it wrong too. So again, my situation is different now. I'm blessed to have a week on, week off, equal custody with my daughter. I got about 40% with my son. I'm going back for 50-50 here soon. We went through mediation. It didn't go as planned. That could be a whole nother topic and situation for a different day. People scared of mediation, man. I be talking to clients, man. I gotta plug in with me, man. That ain't hard to find. Okay, so then, I got my oldest that, like I say, moved out of state, her graduation year, which was kind of sprung on us, but I'm so happy for her. I'm happy it turned out that way. I really am. When it's all said and done, I'm glad she got to experience such a big graduation, such a bigger experience than what she would have experienced here in our small city of Panama City, Florida. So I'm extremely happy for her. So yeah, I have a daughter that's out of state, and I'm gonna be honest with you. You would think when it's 18, got my child support terminated out, I filed the right paperwork. Now I'm just gonna handle these arrears. We'll get that situated. Costing me more money now than when I was on child support and before she turned 18. Do you hear me? I love her to death. I'm proud of her. She's going to school for, I think it's the sonogram thing. Forget how to pronounce the actual. I need to do better, right? But I'm proud of her. Whenever she calls, we answer. I check on her whenever she needs it. We go do what we need to do to get her right. So I'm blessed to have all my babies, all of them. I really am. Again, I'm multitasking, so I got pointers up. I don't want to try to get too far off topic. And then when I think about the different spectrum from raising kids from different moms, you got different rules at different houses. You got readjusting every week. You got raising kids two different ways. No, it's never easy, but I feel like it's the effort you put in on your side. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it really is supposed to be about the child. And I don't want to put this stigma on us like it's just a one-sided thing, but we all could do better as far as parenting. We're all learning on the fly, I feel like. You know what I mean? There's certain things we weren't taught. And man, if we would just learn how things should be versus how we want them, I think we'll be a lot better off. You know what I mean? So it's like when I realized that family court wasn't deciding like who loved the kid more. It was deciding really who presented their case better. And when you're going against, when the child support is getting filed, a lot of times it's the mom. Again, I'm not biased on either side because I've helped moms on both sides and fathers as well. So, but I say that to say a lot of times when they're initiating it and we're going through the system and like, let's say both parents are pro se, but the state is involved. So you're going against a state attorney, really. So you feel like she has an attorney, but not in actuality, because the state attorney is not there to represent there. They're not there for the best interest of the child. None of that. They're there for the state's position on the claims of the case. Point blank, period. They don't care about either side. But the fact that, okay, child support has been filed and this is what we're here for. Oh, they go to bat for child support. You understand? DOR or whatever it is in your state. It may be a different terminology in your state, but the Department of Revenue, when that is lined up with the state attorney and child support, oh, they going to bat. So you have to understand what the rules and the regulations and what's supposed to be taking place in your case and in your situation. If not, you're probably going to get steamrolled. It's not going to go the way you want it to go. You're going to get emotional and think it's about fairness when it ain't at all. It is not a court. It's not about fairness. It's about procedures, the rules, the laws, and calculations. That's what we're going off of. We don't care nothing about who love the kid more. Okay? Quicker you realize that, the better off you'll be. All right? So we kind of, like I said, I'm multitasking. I'm getting texts from clients as we speak. Yeah, so you get out your feelings, get into the procedures, okay? What was it? It was this topic, man. I think it was the comedian. I think it was about like the transactional relationships. He talked about feeling like his daughter's relationship was transactional. I think it was, what was it, Ryan Davis kind of spoke to a relationship with his daughter where he started feeling like it was less organic, more like it revolved around what he was providing for. And I feel like they kind of just, I don't know, the comments and the perspective from both sides, but it's like, I can understand where he's coming from to an extent. You know what I mean? I really can, but everybody's lifestyle and experience with their kids is different. Everybody's upbringing and how their relationship was different. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I feel like that falls on us as a parent too. If we want more than just hearing from our kids when they need something, when something goes on, when something's happening or something going on that they want done for them, I feel like it's our job to push that energy as well. You know what I mean? We gotta try to set up some type of schedule. We gotta be the ones initiating it. That's on us too. You know what I mean? Like setting up that call time. I know with me and my daughter, like I say, it's costing more now that she's 18 than back when she was, but I ain't tripping off that because I would rather it be me than someone else. That's just my mindset. My mindset is I would rather my daughter be able to pick up the phone and call and ask me for something before she feels like she needs to be in a situation to ask some little boy for it. I'm gonna be honest with you, that's my mindset. Like, and I'm here for that. Like, because at one point in time, I may have couldn't have said yes to $100 for a hairdo, $80 for school books, $20 because she at work and she want to order her some food or whatever. She don't want to eat whatever's there. She want to Uber her some food. She's at the crib. She chilling. Dad, can I have $40 because I want to order some of this? Like, don't get me wrong now. We got, all right, baby, we gonna set up some type of allowance, some type of schedule. Let's get this situated and just keep doing good in school. But FaceTime your brother then. FaceTime your little sister. Call and check on them to see how they doing. They miss you. They want to see your face. Just check on them every now and then. You know what I mean? And whatever you need for school, send that over. Show me a little screenshot of what you need done. We won't take that out your allowance. I'll send you $60, $70 a week, something like that to keep in your pocket. We'll try to get organized. Is either one of us the best on that schedule? Did I set this up forever ago? No. But you know what I'm saying? But that's still my baby. So, but then, I mean, I understand every father access to their kid isn't the same. And I feel like regardless of the eye to eye that I see with the mothers of my kids, I feel like I'm blessed to never have been truly alienated like that. You know what I mean? So, like I say, not every father has the same access or the same relationship, same history with their kids. I mean, like I say, I got out 2-3. She was 2-3, cried to come with me. She was crying to go home before it was all said and done. Me and my baby been to Disney World. We've been to Universal Studios. We've been to the SeaWorld in Atlanta. We've been to the fun spots. We go on vacations. I've been able to experience that with my children. I have a dialect with my kids. We have a good relationship. Is it the best in the world? As if we woke up and we went to bed and woke up in the same house every day. You know what I mean? No, it's not as strong as I would have liked it to be due to me having multiple children from multiple women. You know what I mean? we got to live and die with those situations, and we got to make the best of how that was. So we take it all in stride, but I don't feel like he said anything out of pocket. He spoke how he felt like his situation was. And again, you can attest to that. I can attest to that because don't get me wrong. It's like, damn, baby girl, you calling for this, that. You can't pick up the phone to call daddy for that. But again, that's our job to initiate that. You can't pick up the phone to call and check on her. You can't make sure you call and check on her every Wednesday or Tuesday or whatever the schedule you may want it to be or you feel like it should be. It's like you got to bring that energy as a father, as a parent, not just as a father, as a parent. So again, everybody's access isn't the same to their kid. Alienation is real, you know what I mean? But I feel like giving up too early is a thing. And again, I talk to hundreds and hundreds of parents. I've spoken to a lot of parents. So I don't want to feel like anybody this is related to their specific situation, you know what I mean? But like I said, I see it with clients. You got a father that may have fought for custody, fought hard, man. It's a struggle sometimes to get that equal custody, to get that timeshare, because we don't know the rules, the ins and outs, the best interest factor, the substantial changes. Like it can be a lot of ins and outs, and depending on what your state rules are. So once you don't work so hard to get that court order, but then you got the child has been alienated from you so long, or you feel like the parents telling them something about you. Now the child doesn't even want to come. That's one thing when, like I say, my struggles was 2-3 years old. I could just tuck her into my arm. Come here, girl. And just kicking and screaming it out. We just go out at 2-3 years old. You can do that. 4, maybe even 5. But you talking about 9, 10, 11, you ain't really tucking those, you ain't picking them up and forcing them to go. And that's almost a traumatic situation in itself. So it's like, what are you to do when I go? What do I do when I keep showing up? My child is telling me, no, she don't want to go with me. And when she's had a relationship with my significant other or my father or my mother, she's been told, even when they try to know, she don't want nothing to do with them, texting, saying stuff like just, you know that's coming from the mindset, you know what I mean? You feel like you know that's coming from them. And again, I couldn't picture my children being 11. They're going on 12. They're finna be 12. One just turned 11, the other one's turning 12. One just turned 12, the other one's gonna turn 12 in about 20 more days. 29 days apart. Anyways, but I couldn't imagine them not wanting to come with me. I couldn't imagine them crying and screaming when I went to go pick them up. Even if they want to spend an extra day at their mom's house, they'd be too nervous to tell me because they feel like it'll hurt my feelings. No cap. Like they would come with me on the strength because they don't want to hurt their dad's feelings because we have that type of relationship. Now, the mindset of, man, you going through this and you don't have that same relationship because of the alienation. And again, like I say, my clients going through this where they're going to the pickup spot. Y'all may have a pickup spot, a neutral location, and you're going in your 10, 11, 12-year-old. They don't want to come with you. They're not going to come. You don't want to call the police. You don't want to get the cops involved to force them. Again, this could be even more traumatic situation. So my mindset is, I can't stress it enough. I couldn't imagine my babies not wanting to come with me. Now I can imagine they want to stay or they finna go somewhere with their moms. I done been through that. They want to stay extra day because they want to stay with me extra days. They're not wanting to go home to their moms some extra days because we're hanging out or we're doing what we do. So I understand that. But them just not want to be around me, them feeling like I'm the scum of the earth or whatever the case may be, I know that's got to be crucial. But again, from my perspective, my mindset is, what's the number of times you gonna show up? How many times you done went there? 2, 3 times she didn't want to come. Now it's like what I do. I'm gonna be honest with you. My number if you got out the year 100, let's say you got 150 days out the year. That's what the court gave you. And the child just not coming out. You done went 2, 3 times. She just not getting in that car. Don't matter who you come with you. I'm showing up every time. I'm showing up with balloons, teddy bears, family with us. If she got cousins her age, every time we coming up and we showing this is a safe space. Baby girl, let me just take you to some ice cream today. Or little man, let me take you to go throw a football. Let's go to the park, man. Let's run some laps. Let's do something. Every day, balloons, different balloons every time. I'm be honest with you. My number, if you're telling me it's 100 to 150 days that we're supposed to meet here and I'm supposed to try to get my child throughout this year, I'm coming 150 times. That's me. How many times is you showing up before you like, man, she just ain't gonna come? Whatever her mom's telling her, it done got to the point where I just give up, man. You know what? She's 10, 11. I'll try it when she's 18. I'll run it back in 7 years. Like, what's your number? I'm there $150. That's me. That's me. I'm there $150. I'm coming all 150 days, balloons in hand, gifts in hands. You gonna have to, baby girl, you got to see it with your eyes. I love you. I ain't the guy. I ain't whatever they trying to say I am, that ain't it. And however I got to show up to show out, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna stand on 10 toes every time for mine, because that's my mindset. That's what I'm gonna do as a father or parent. That's how I got into this situation. That's how I learned how to fight in court. That's how I learned how to file motions the proper way. That's how I learned how to test the waters to see what can work and what can't work. I'm the Indian that went across to get shot in the back. I'm the one that's coming back telling y'all that special appearance or if you weren't properly served means automatic. No, if the court wasn't sealed with the proper stamp, if they didn't have a hearing, an actual judge, or Article 4, if they violated my due process, I'm the dude that went across there and came back with the arrows in my back. And I'm gonna tell you what will work and what don't work. Yes, there's some valid points to that for sure. I've helped clients win, get stuff vacated, thrown out, went against attorney's veto. We beat that. Get it thrown out because proper procedures were not followed. And don't get it twisted. Even if they weren't followed and you got everything aligned the right way, they'll still knock it down. You have to get your proper evidence on record to be able to move to vacate, to be able to move to appeal it. You got to have everything lined up. They don't always get it right in the lower court. So I'm not combating that. I ain't saying that lane ain't true, because it is 100%. But it's a lane. When I say a lane, I mean a lane. You know what a lane is? Everybody can't fit in one lane, family. Everybody fact patterns and the mirrors in their case don't line up for it to get terminated, vacated, thrown out, completely dismissed, arrears disappeared. Everybody case ain't go fit that, family. And as they telling you it is, you could be wasting a year, 2, 3 years fighting this battle just to come to a wall that was never going to get knocked down because your door was right here, wide the fuck open. Already open for you. You steady trying to pound down a wall that your lane, it ain't fitting. That your path done turned and went like this. And you steady trying to go like this though. But the door wide open right here. All you got to do is turn the motherfucking steering wheel and drive through this lane. And there you go. All the gold and riches to your path that you wanted. Equal custody, fucking terminated, arrears getting adjusted to a payment where you can set up some type of payment plan to get your license, to get your passport, to get everything that you wish for is right over here. And all you got to do is whip that motherfucker and drive through there. But your goof ass is steady just slamming into this wall because that door was open for this dude. He fit through that lane. His circumstances let him fit through this lane and he made it through that door. You seen him drive through that door. You like, I'll be damned. I'm finna get through that bit. And you just steady driving him through the door. You just steady trying to follow him. Steady trying to follow this motherfucker because he went through that door and thinking you can fit through it. It don't work like that. Everybody fact patterns is different. Stop letting these people tell you child support is unconstitutional and that child support is fraud. Just because it was fraudulent in their situation don't mean it's fraudulent in your situation, family. Y'all wake up and smell the coffee. If y'all in that dream world, and maybe a lot of y'all deserve to be stuck. I ain't even go cap. A lot of y'all probably deserve to be stuck because you don't want to turn that wheel. But I digress, you know what I mean? And again, getting off the alienation topic and getting into the facts of like just my perspective. Again, these are my opinions. And all praises to the mothers of my children. I don't want anybody to think that I got any type of negative energy because I'm blessed to have them in general. Did they make it easy for me? No, I don't think so. They probably feel the exact same way about me. I ain't make it easy for them either. I'm sure they feel that way. But they've never kept me from my kids access to, well, not fully. Not like how a lot of the parents that come to me are going through. You got some people that's moving different states, clearing the state, trying to alienate and move and get away and get in a new relationship and want them to terminate their rights so they can marry this person and give them the rights and have them like, man, it's crazy out here. It's some different situations. It really is. And you got people that's losing their rights. They want to come around 2-3 years later when the law only states, man, a couple years, DNA is going to become where it's not enough. You go missing enough years on your own DNA, it ain't going to be enough for them not to get your shit terminated. You go come around done finally got your shit together 2, 3, 4, 5 years later, trying to be a dad to what could have been a newborn at the time. Now she's only 3 or 4, and yeah, you got an opportunity to get back involved because she's young enough to understand that this is my dad and grow into that. But now your rights are terminating. You ain't even got no say-so to that because you went missing for too long. You didn't apply your rights. You didn't do what you needed to do when you had the opportunity. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of these situations are time sensitive. It's time sensitive. It's urgent that you get on top of it now, that you learn the rules now, not 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years later when the arrears are stuck and you can't get them adjusted because they're vested the right of the child and of the state. But again, that's a whole nother story. So with me, I feel like personally, like, even though my mothers don't see, we don't see eye to eye sometimes, at the end of the day, I feel like they know I love my kids. And I don't feel like they'll ever like try to just keep them away from me like that. But my personal opinion, I feel like they wanted to dictate how I got to see them, how I got to be involved. And I feel like that's a problem in society in general, that stigma. And I don't want to say that it's a black or white thing. You know, I talk to a lot of races. Everybody's going through this. But there's a stigma on fathers about how they're supposed to move in situations like this when child support is involved. I feel like it's like, oh, just pay the child support. You're supposed to do this. Oh, the mother's supposed to be the custodial parent. Like, no, that ain't what the rules say. When you look into the rule, like at the end of the day, a lot of times, bro, if you just get them to actually follow their own rules, we'll be a lot better off. Both parts, I feel like. Because a lot of times, the rule is even before you talk about child support, especially in divorces in a lot of situations, we need to get time sharing down. A lot of fathers don't even know that that's supposed to exist. Like, okay, let me get some time share. Even if it ain't 50-50, what's 60-40, 30-70? In most states, as long as you miss that 20, as long as you hit that 20% threshold, anything over 20, your child support is supposed to deviate down. And that ain't to like push, get custody to get rid of child support, but the child deserves equal parenting from both parties, not just equal child support. So that was my thing that really got me into this. Like, maybe I would have stayed blind to it and just keep struggling to make payments. And man, my time put down to $2,000 a month at one time, $1,600 to be exact. Man, I was working at the shipyard here in Panama City, Florida. I was making $12.50 an hour. This in 2014. $13 for the night shift. We was working 72 hours a week. Mandatory. We worked 12-hour days, 6 days a week. Only days off we had Sunday. My child support got adjusted to that. Even I was married and got put on child support. You hear me? Make sense. Again, that's a story for a whole nother day. So my child support was inflated on, I don't know. They used overtime. They used everything. They're not supposed to do it. You ain't supposed to use gross. They use gross. They're supposed to use net. I hope I'm saying that right. I ain't got my notes in front of me. But my shit was overjacked like a mug, bro. And even when my hours went to normal, when they went to 45 hours, it's normal for, even though they're supposed to use 40, we getting 45 hours. Imagine 30 hours missing at what, $13 an hour? I ain't the best at math. What, that's 10, make it 130, 3 times over 260. What's that? $400 a week already deducted from just, now I'm not making that no more. On top of, I was already getting charged about close to $400 a week was coming out my check. Because one mother was getting $650, the other one was getting like $580, and the last one was getting like $398, $400, something like that. So what that come up to? $1,500, $1,600, something like that. And I'm a normal person. I'm a 2014, bro. I ain't been home, I don't think 2 years yet. I done got a job. I feel like, I'm doing good now. I'm married, or engaged, just like shit straight. I'm getting my babies. They coming over every other weekend. We hanging out. Next thing I know, some type of, they done filed for modification, taking me back. Oh my God, child support numbers was looking at like, $800 for this one, $600 for this one. I'm married to this one. So she like, well, let me put you on child support too to try to break it down. So now it's $600 for this one. We get divorced. I'm still stuck on child support for this one. It's like, bro, make it make sense. I'm baffled. I'm not understanding none of this. I'm really not. Get a lawyer to try to get it changed. It needs to be a certain amount of time before we can change it or something like that. It was like, you haven't been making less long enough. Well, fuck you, man, it's been damn near a year, bro. My checks went from a band a week to child support coming out to like $500-$600 a week then I think I had did the community college. I was going to Gulf Coast, so I had got like some student loans some years ago. Fresh out when I first really came home, I went back to school. I'm getting student loans. I'm buying the books at lower rates. I'm hanging out. I'm like, man, I'm banned up from school. That don't work out. Oh, they want their money back. So this coming out my check now. Now my check done went from a band to like 600 to like hours cut back. Now I'm bringing home like 200-300 a week, still working 50, 60 hours trying to pick up. Oh man, make that make sense. So it's like, even when I start, they do a layoff. We ain't working there no more. I get another job, not making nearly as much, thinking that's going to adjust. It finally adjusts, but think of years and years of $1,600 a month stacking up while you're not working. I'm 20 something years. How old am I? I'm definitely not 30 yet. My son was, so this is 12 years ago. I'm 38 now. I'm 26 years old, 27. Just came home from doing a bid. Bruh, this child support shit is crazy. It's like, man, make it make sense. So I had to get in the field. I had to start learning. It took me years before I really started. It's crazy work because it's almost like I can almost track this back to EYL though, in a way, because I wasn't learning about this, but then it's like, as they pop up on the scene, I don't even know what year that is. So it's like, I'm learning about, okay, you can be an entrepreneur, you can invest in this, you can move different. You ain't gotta just so now it's like trying to invest into different things besides just my labor. I'm trying to learn how to do this, learn how to do that. And it kind of led me so I stayed on that camp. I stayed with the EYL trying to learn different ways to maneuver. And I think it led me down to social proof. Dang, I hate Shans and Donnie down. And I'm watching them and I'm learning how to okay, this is how you get your hustle on. This is how you maneuver. And then it brings me down to another dude. Oh man, I think he called himself like Monza 888 or something like that. Monza Mahathir. This is Unfiltered, so I'm gonna put it out there. I feel like it wasn't sovereign citizen stuff, because that ain't what he was teaching, but it's like that was the energy. But it was trying to learn that, all right, these statutes and codes have different meanings when you start digging into the rules of credit, the rules of this. And I'm learning this and then learn rules of tenant laws, and I ain't gonna cap. Like I say, I'm the one that's gonna go cross, get them arrow shot in my bag. I'm the one that's gonna try something. So I'm learning this about how to supposed to be able to endorse this and write this off. And it takes me down another path of UCC this and UCC. So I try some shit. I be damn if I don't learn like tenant laws and certain things they're supposed to do with your deposit when you get it. And so I attack from that angle. I end up moving into my own apartment when this one relationship don't work out. Like I say, I don't want to get too far back into my story, but I'm trying to take you to what kind of led me through this, so to say. I'm learning that, and I moved into this new apartment. I'm reading the lease. He's like, bro, the big thing I feel like fans trying to like read your contract, bro. Read what you signing. Read, it could be loopholes in what you read. These contracts, it's contract law you need to learn. So I'm learning that. I'm studying that. And I see some things in my lease contract that ain't adding up when I'm checking addresses and where they say my deposit is and how it's supposed to be held. It ain't adding up. So I try something. Lo and behold, I'm kind of in the right. So it's like I go a year. I'm staying here a year. I ain't paid no rent. Everything Gucci. I done wrote it off. I felt like, I done endorsed my rent, y'all. I'm good. I'm talking about I'm going over a year now. I'm Gucci. No rent paid. I write it off. Like I pay them, but I don't pay them through cash. I write off on like the contract and I endorse the contract and be like, okay, I'm going to use my deposit from where you say this at. You know what I mean? I wink beat. So they end up trying to, after a year, they like, nah, we ain't finna let this shit ride. They try to evict me. Now we in the court system. Now I'm seeing here where this is here. Oh, this is this rule. And being that she's property manager and not the landlord, she can't evict me anyways. Boom, boom, boom. I win that way. Boom. Oh, I'm right. And there was a motion to stay. I do my motion to stay so I don't have to like put anything on hold to pay the rent. I'm like, I paid it off through this way and I bring in like my receipts and stuff to do the motion to stay. So that goes through and that wins. I don't have to pay until we figure out what's going on with the contract. So man, I'm in that bit like another year. I stayed there another year, but then I get in another situation. But like I say, my woman who I'm with now and my child and everything. So I end up like, I got two spots pretty much. I got this one over here and this one over here. And it's like back and forth. And I really stopped going out there like that. And they end up like changing the locks on me. So I'm like, boom. Now I turn around and sue them for breaking contract and doing whatever. So long story short, I win again. They end up paying me some bands they broke me off, and I'm like, all right, this is what y'all do. Y'all pay me, pay for this, adjust this, and I go ahead and I leave after I think I gave them another 3 months. I stayed over there before I end up moving. They gave me some racks to move up out that thing. But so I'm like, okay, it is some stuff in these laws. Let me keep learning. Let me keep going on. And it led me to my dog Greg. I think it's GNAP Consulting, Greg Dose. Y'all look him up, bro. That's my mentor, a solid dude. And I was blessed because he was in Florida. So the fact that he was in Florida, it was easier to pick up on how to, man, when I seen this dude talking on his YouTube, the way he was popping that shit, bro, talking them statutes and the laws and how child support was supposed to be calculated. I'm talking about, bro, he was giving them the business, man. My heart, I'm like, oh my God, he talking greasy. He talking greasy to these people, bro. You heard what he told the head officer or the judge, bro, ain't none of that. He wasn't going for none of that. None of that. And then to find out he got his child support terminated. He appealed certain things and got relief, getting shit terminated out. He wasn't properly served, properly. That's when I started learning about subject matter jurisdiction, personal jurisdiction, what's supposed to be done, the rules and procedures, mandatory disclosures, certain numbers they're supposed to calculate, the guideline worksheets supposed to. I'm like, man, hold on. So they need to have this in my court file, that in my court file. And when I went to go pull it, certain things wasn't there. It's like, okay, now we gotta. But again, that's a story for another day. That's what got me there, what led me through this. Like I say, how I felt like the mothers want to dictate the relationship. And I'm like, bro, ain't nobody finna tell me how to be around my kids or how to maneuver. It's like, I went through it long enough. I got told that long enough. So like I say, man, a lot of these child support numbers, they end up being inflated because people they don't understand how they're actually calculated. All right. The numbers end up being they calculate really how they want. You know what I mean? You got to understand the actual formula. So you should know the amount even before they do. You know what I mean? So I got to keep in mind though, 50-50 custody isn't always equal parenting effort. You know what I mean? So, and it doesn't always equal out to no child support. All right. So courts, they're not going to reward who talks the best in court. They're going to reward who filed what correctly. If it's filed correctly, that's the angle they're going at. And alienation, it isn't always malicious, man. Sometimes it's just a broken relationship. You're not properly communicating the right way. You need some boundaries set up. You need some rules set in place. Like I said, I'm not here to talk down on family court. I think it'd be a lot easier if we could all co-parent and do what we need to do. But certain situations need certain boundaries. So, and attorneys aren't magic, but preparation, it really does matter. Even if you have an attorney, how you prepare for court, what you plan to tell the judge, how you want to get your story properly put in front of him without being seen as vindictive or angry or, you know what I mean? Procedure is really solid. Procedure over emotion is a big one, family. I got to keep that in mind. So that's what it is. Family court is a procedural place. It isn't a place for emotions. And that's crazy to say that family court is procedural. It's not emotional, but how can you not get emotional when you're talking about your kids, when you're talking about your family? So you just got to know how to move. You got to know how to put that evidence in front of the judge. You got to know how to prove substantial change. What rules and laws back your position? That's what's going to win your situation. All right. Attorneys, all right. I paid attorneys and I ain't gonna lie, I've gotten nowhere. I'm not here to drag out an attorney. I mean, but if you don't know what they should be doing, then you're just spending money hoping and praying. All right. You have to learn whether or not you're digress. Bring that out. All right, bring it out. So again, I've paid attorneys and I've gotten nowhere. Sometimes they can drag it out. If you don't know what they should be doing, sometimes you're just spending money. That's all you're doing is spending money. You have to learn whether you have an attorney or not. What are the rules and procedure? What should be the next step? All right. So y'all got to lock in, parents. Because once you lock in and you start learning the real rules and procedures, your fight it's not even with the parents anymore. It really is just with the state attorneys and understanding the rules and making sure they apply them. Like, My fight it's not with the moms no more. It's not with the mothers of my kids. My fight is making sure that the rules are seriously applied correctly, that the math is done, that my child support is based on the correct things, that my arrears are properly audited. Okay. Like, I'm trying to make sure that they actually did their job, that they ruled on the proper things and that it was applied in the correct way. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be as hard for mothers and fathers if they actually followed the rules. And a lot of times the judge, they don't follow the rules. You know what I mean? I've talked to a lot of people, man. And we don't understand the rules, and that's okay. That's okay. You're only taught, you only know what you're taught. All right. So, man, like I said, I've talked to hundreds of parents, hundreds. And at the end of the day, you don't know what you aren't taught or what you don't learn. So it's just, we have to learn how to move in court. But it's like, at the end of the day, we got to get to the point where you got to be able to put in the investment, whether it's going to be your time. If you're not going to put in the time to learn, then you got to put in the time to do what you need to do to maybe properly compensate someone to teach you. Because again, I've spent thousands of dollars on attorneys. I'm not here to replace attorneys. I'm not an attorney, but you got some parents that are scared to invest $150. And I understand we in tight positions. Everybody ain't got it. But I had my lowest consultations where we locked in and I'm breaking down your case. I'm creating a file. It's $497. Now, I understand that. I get why people hesitate. A lot of people have already spent thousands on attorney. They feel burned. I've been there, family. I've been there. But at some point, you either got to learn how the case work or you just going to be stuck reacting. Like, you got to learn how these cases work or you just go be stuck in a limbo. You know what I mean? So I put out a lot of free information. I really do. I'm trying to stay consistent. It's hard to keep making content when you're talking to 100 parents a day. It's like even I've had 2-3 messages come in, people reaching out. You think I don't know how hard it is not to help these people because some simple guidance can get them a long way. I help so many people for free. But if you need me to break down your case, stop what I'm doing. Stop helping clients who are willing to put forth the effort, the time, and the finances to do what they need to do to get their kids back or fight to get their kids or fight to be in a better position. It's only so much free information I can give. It's only so much time I can put in there. And I understand, and I really do. But it's only so much free information I got. That's why I got the 150 strategy exit. I got that. That session is solid. You go get a full roadmap. It's going to break down everything you need to do. What do you need to file, your situation, everything. All right. It's there to put you in a better position to understand the rules. Now, if you take that and you can work it on your own, a lot of my clients do. A lot of my clients take that and they do what they need to do, come back thankful. I got testimonials on my page. I'm not hard to find. I'm really not. Okay. So again, I'm not here to complain about family court. I'm here to help parents understand how to move inside of it. I just want all of us to have a better understanding. Okay. Because at the end of the day, it's the effort you put in. Whether if it's your mom, your dad, if you're a parent, you have to put in the effort as far as being a parent and learning what you need to learn. Nobody's going to fight for your kids like you will. Nobody's going to put that effort in like you should be doing. That's just point blank period, okay? So if you're going through it right now, all right, I'm doing the 150 case breakdown right now, okay? I'm looking at your situation. We're going to need a few documents. No, I can't take your full 100 text message thread, your 50 screenshots of this. I can't do that for $150, family. I'm going to take a few documents, mainly your case orders. I need to see what the judge signed off on. That document is the most important. Your final order, the most previous one, and the ones that started your cases are going to be 2 big documents. But depending on what you have going on, whether for CPS, custody, child support, we'll figure out what are the main documents that I'm going to need to at least build your roadmap to get you in a better position, family. All right. Telling you, the link is in the bio. I'm not hard to find. Okay. All right. So I did mention the mediation story. Like I said, that I really might do that as a whole episode by itself to get. It's so many parents that talk to me, they're so scared of mediation, bro. Mediation is nothing to be scared of. Mediation is going to get you understanding of what to look for going into court. And then nothing that's mentioned in mediation is even 9 times out of 10 can't even be brought up in court. You got so many parents that are scared, but you should go prepared though. Again, the link is in the bio. I am not hard to find, family. My name is JL Casey. I run a consulting business called Child Support Victory. It's not just about child support. I help with family court, period. This episode or this podcast is called Family Court Unfiltered. I'm going to probably start dropping every other Wednesday. I want y'all to share this with someone who needs it, who needs to hear about it, who needs to hear that a dad went through the court system, learned how to help other parents, won all 3 of his family cases, all 3 of them by himself, pro se, no attorney. Not telling you to discourage attorneys, I'm just saying. So if you're going through a family court situation right now, keep showing up. Even if it feels like it's not working, keep showing up, family. Keep doing what you got to do for your children. Keep learning, keep striving. Stay blessed, parents. Again, the link is in the bio. I'm not hard to find. Trying to make sure I didn't miss any talking points. I try to have notes out, but again, I'm multitasking. I'm working with clients right now. Got to get in the lab, get some clients situated. Testimonials are coming soon, y'all. We got a lot of testimonials coming soon. We're doing big things. I'm on the ground level. I'm down here trying to help parents move in court. Okay, there's a lot of people in the higher rankings I see that are trying to change legislation, trying to get new laws adjusted. That's a blessing. I hope and pray that I reach that point one day. But as of right now, I'm trying to help parents move inside of court. I got a lot of free information I push out there. Child Support Victory is my tag on just about every social media. I'm live on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. I got a LinkedIn. I haven't really started. Like I said, I'm not a content guy. I got a video editor. He told me we needed some content. Here it is. Chop it up, Ariel. Push it out to the fans. Push it out to the people. I'm going to try to batch record soon, get some topics. I got some topics I want to touch on. It's like, because like I said, I talk to so many parents, and I compile, I get all the situations and I put them in together, and I see what's the main factor. What are we going through out here? What is everybody's situation? What do we need to prepare for? I'm going to do it. I'm going to drop an episode on that. So again, I'm not hard to find. Y'all can inbox me, man. My name is JLKC. My actual name is Johnny KC. That's my personal page on Facebook. I would prefer y'all come to my business page, but I don't turn anyone around. I don't mind answering a few questions. Can I give you a full case breakdown in Messenger? No, I can't. You're going to have to become a client for me to help you with that. And when I say client, the word client isn't reserved for attorneys. No, I'm not an attorney. Okay? Everyone has clients. Hairdressers have clients. Trainers have clients. Barbers have clients. I have clients. But just as well as I have clients, I have students. We're learning this together. I'm teaching you your rights. I'm teaching you how to move in court, how to properly put something in front of a judge. Well, if you have an attorney, that's a plus. But if you don't, you may not need to go pay $4,000 for a retainer, $8,000 for a retainer, $4,000 for a motion, an emergency motion. You know what I mean? Y'all plug in with me. This is what I do. Stay blessed. Oh, this is my book. I don't push it as much because I wrote this early on. This is great for understanding how the system works, for understanding what rules should apply in child support and in family court in general. But I've excelled so much since then. We're helping CPS cases, getting emergency motion filed to have a turnaround time to get these kids back to the proper parent. So this is an awesome book. It's supposed to be $130, y'all. I've been letting it ride for $39.99 on Amazon. I ain't even got my own, I think it's LS, what is it called? My own ISBN yet. I haven't even, so hopefully soon I'll get back situated to get my book on my website right now. Like I said, it's on Amazon. You can go to Child Support Victory. The link is in there too. Stay blessed, parents. This is what I do. This is what I've done, not by choice, but by force. I had to learn how to move in court to be in a stronger position for my children. Again, parents, stay blessed. Stay blessed, parents. I got clients hitting me now. I got to get back to work. Inbox me, leave a comment. I'm not hard to find. JLKC, Child Support Victory presents Family Court Unfiltered, Episode 3. Haven't thought of a title just yet because I just want to put energy out there into the world. We haven't recorded in quite some time. I got to get back to work. All right. Stay blessed.